All right, this is the start of what are going to be many modifications for my 2000 EM1 Civic Si. This company, Apex I. I always thought it was Apexi or Apexi, but I believe it's Apex I for Apex International. Is an exhaust I never really considered, but I'm pretty sure of the exhausts that are left for this car. I'm pretty sure, I've said that many times when unboxing exhausts, I'm pretty sure this is going to be at least a solid candidate. My guess is we'll have 6 or 7 more exhausts on this car. So I paid $799 for this. I found a few, videos on YouTube that show the car starting up, but there really aren't any videos showing us, what it sounds like on, with a quality camera. A lot of the videos of these cars were shot on camcorders many, many years ago. So we're going to provide you with 1, an unboxing, 2, an install, and then 3, an actual sound clip or sound clips of what it sounds like inside the car and outside the car. So this is a full catback version. I'll be adding a test pipe. And I'll likely have John from LHT just make me a test pipe. But this is a 60 millimeter exhaust. The other thing we'll find out is, do I lose a bunch of power by having a tame street exhaust? Do we end up doing a 70 millimeter variant when we do the B18 swap? We'll see. So, just show you what this looks like here. Boxing appears to be pretty high quality, wrapped pretty well, no damage. I don't see any issues. I bought this last Wednesday, and or no, I think I ordered this over the weekend. Today is Wednesday, so it took 2 or 3 days to get here. So they had it in stock in the US. There's the main muffler. It's relatively heavy, a lot heavier than what I'm used to with Porsche and BMW stuff. But this is T304 stainless in some sort of titanium thermal coating. And it has an almost 4-inch tip from what I read. So what we'll do is we'll get it out of the box, and then we'll move the box out of the way and get it set up here. It's also coming with, I lost my knife, there it is. Comes with a license plate frame that will not be going on the car. One of the general consensus I'm getting from all of you who are watching what I'm up to here with this car, so we won't need that, is just leave it alone, Matt. Don't mess it up. It's perfect. It's not perfect. This car blows stock. It's 130, 40 horsepower. What the heck am I going to do with that? And then, of course, the opposite argument is, well, you're only going to gain 50 horsepower. So, well, 50 horsepower on a 2,600 pound car is a whole heck of a lot. So I'm going to do it. And just trust me on this one. I know I don't like to say trust me, Bryce, but I'm asking you to give me a shot here. My wager is that you're going to like what you see at the end, because nobody in their right mind would want an EM1 Civic stock. I know I certainly don't want it. So I think that the modifications that I'm choosing, and my business manager, Chris, is not going to be very happy with me tomorrow morning. I didn't let the email sit in my inbox. I blew through saving those and putting them in the expense file quicker. At least that'll give me another day before he comes in and starts yelling at me. I'm literally overnighting parts from Japan. All right, there's the mid pipe. It's, again, some sort of thermal coating, ceramic paint. And then here's the connecting section. So this will go from the cat all the way back into the axle back section So I guess we would call this not an axle back, but a full cat back exhaust. And so I must have just gotten lucky. I don't know what their stock looks like in the US. And again, I ordered it direct from them. Shipping was 39 bucks. I think it came from California. For a lot of the stuff I'm having to order from Japan. My friend Tommy F. has been sending me texts every day with some rare JDM part that I get all excited about. So he has a friend in Japan that is going to help us source some of the stuff. So we have, looks like zinc hardware, some new gaskets. I don't think we're going to need any instructions, but it doesn't look like they're instructions. What a stark contrast of me installing an exhaust on my Civic now versus 17 years ago when I had to pay someone to do it because I had no clue how to do it. Oh, that's pretty nice. Likely what we'll do is get you some sound clips, in the parking lot, and then I'll do a full-on flyby internal sound video. The car has a, how do you pronounce it? Megan? Is it Megan or Megan? I think it's Megan. Has a Megan header on it, which is going to be punted in the trash here. So we're gonna, I have a Toda header on the way. Oh yeah. A little bit more sophisticated looking than the Skunk 2 that's on the car right now. There's a lot of drone, just really not my style. So we're gonna try this exhaust. The only thing I fear with this is that it ends up being a little bit too tame. Real shiny, made in Japan. Let's cut to install. I guess I'll see you guys in about 10 seconds. Okay, so install time. It's a day later. We actually had one of my buddies who is like a master craftsman removing dents came. Is there a freaking fly in here? Start that over. Take two. Even he did some metal correction, took out some of the creases and things. The car is really legit. So time to put this, what I believe to be really legit exhaust on. I have a Skunk S2 on it, and I talked about in the original intro video, I talked about the mid pipe being stock. It's not, clearly not stock, it's part of the Skunk 2. So we're removing that whole cat back section. We're gonna PB blast all the bolts and remove this. It's real droney, boomy, almost kind of sounds a little bit to me like a Subaru. A lot of people hit the nail on the head. It sounds kind of like WRX. So I want to change that a little bit. And so this exhaust will be the one I think that will run on the B18 as well. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. The other exhaust I want to try is the Fujitsu RM, what's it, RM01A or something like that. So I might try that exhaust too. So we're going to get up under the car, PB blast everything. Wait till you see how clean it is under this car if you haven't seen it yet. It's freaking insane. And put the new exhaust on. Should be pretty easy. Fingers crossed. Okay, so PB blast, something I think you need for this job. It looks like the back section of the exhaust is almost looks brand new, but there is some rust on the catalytic converter, the back side of it. So we're going to spray that on. I think we'll probably need, what, a 13 millimeter ratchet. If you guys haven't seen this yet, this is legit. This is my sonic tool array that I get accused often of not using, but yet I seem to use it every day. I don't know where they're getting that from. There's some stuff that Sonic doesn't make, and so I have this tool grid set up where I'm able to, kind of organize other tools like my 3/4 inch precision instrument stuff. Stuff for spring compressor, but the tool we need for this job is a grommet puller. Going to make life so much easier. This is something we absolutely need in order to do this, to make our life simpler. The other thing I think I'll use is a little bit of WD-40, and we'll lubricate the exhaust grommets. So we have 7 bolts and 1, 2, 3, 4 exhaust grommets. So let me show you how an exhaust on a Civic works. Okay, so the exhaust on a B16, B18, you know, most Hondas in general, you're gonna have some sort of 4 to 2 to 1, or I think this is a 4 to 1, looks like a Megan header, 4 to 1. So meaning 4 pipes coming out of the 4 cylinders, goes into one single collector, then connects to our catalytic converter. The way that I'm gonna build this car, the way I'm gonna set it up is this cat, I'm gonna take out, and we're going to tune it out, tune out the CEL, and we'll probably lean out the car, I would guess, a little bit so that it runs more efficiently. But I'm also going to include this, you know, so that if someone wins the car from California, you can put it back in. O2 sensor here, O2 sensor here. I actually just got to check engine light. My bet is these O2 sensors are toast, so I'll probably end up replacing those. Your car's been sitting so much. So 1, 2, 3 bolts here. And you have the mid pipe. This is part of the Skunk 2 exhaust resonator. This looks like 60 millimeter piping, just like the Apex I. And so that's our resonator. 2 more bolts, an exhaust, what do you call that? Exhaust gasket into the sort of the 90 pipe, if you will, the connecting pipe. And then you have the axle back. They call this axle back because here's our axle, and you know the rear section of the exhaust is replaced here with this axle section. So a lot of the cheaper exhausts, a lot of the other exhausts don't go from the cat back; they go from the axle back. Well, this is a full cat back exhaust, so we're going to replace that. And so you can see how it bends up over, and then we have 1, 2 exhaust grommets here, 1 here. And then there's 1 here in the middle. So there's 4 different exhaust grommets we got to pull. So first thing I'm going to do, I got a little towel here, some PB Blast. I'm just going to hit all the bolts, so I'll help break them loose. I don't really soak them down. And I can visually tell that these bolts here don't really need anything, but certainly can't hurt. Two here. Let's just put it on this side. I don't need it on that side. So this will penetrate and help us remove, but the main bolts I need to hit are here, because there's some rust on those. The main thing I don't want to do is I don't want to break the studs off the cat, because I don't have a test pipe yet, so I'd rather avoid that. And one thing I'm really surprised about is a lot of the parts that I've ordered are going to be coming in quickly. I thought this would take months to do, so it's going to be good. So I'm hitting a little WD-40 here on the exhaust grommet. I'll show you what that looks like. You can see grommet number 1. That ought to make them a little easier to pull off. Here is, oh, there's another one up top here. 2 of them up here on this section. I'll probably pull them off the car, not off of the exhaust. So we'll bring them out with the exhaust. I probably don't even need this WD-40 for the, because of the exhaust puller that I have from Snap-on. But can't hurt to lubricate them a little bit and make it easier. So up here, there's a little ball. And so you just kind of have to snake this, kind of figure out what fits. And you'll be able to use this to push. So this will hold the back of the grommet and then push the ball and pull the grommet out through. But first thing I'm going to do before I do that, so we're going to take the axle back off first. So I'm going to loosen these bolts, and then we'll touch or mess with our exhaust grommets here. So I'm going to pull these 2. Looks like 13. It looks like it might be 15s. 14. Yep. See if I can break this loose. Right, which way am I going? Yeah, this way. Righty tighty, lefty loosey, Matt. Yeah, these are gonna be a little more difficult than I thought. There we go. I need a 14, not a 13 for this. I remember back in the day being so scared to do an exhaust, afraid to mess something up. I was also doing it on my back in a driveway somewhere. This is the one time the lift kind of getting in my way. If this wasn't in the way, I'd be just fine. Just gonna have to toughen up. It's a little tighter here than I anticipated. Short one maybe. This was supposed to take 2 minutes. Only I could manage to turn it into a 20-minute deal to get one bolt off. That's because you're not a real car guy, Matt. You just pretend. That sucker's on there tight. Especially using this baby little wrench. God dang. Oh, dang you. Should have kept my mouth shut, Mike. Shouldn't have said this is going to be super easy. I need to put a little more PB blast on there, maybe. That sucker is tight. Am I turning it the right way? Let's make sure. Lefty, loosey. Yeah, definitely need to come down with it. Just kind of loosen it up and spin it inside the joint here. There we go. Zip it, Bryce.
You got it?
Don't you worry about it. Okay, that's loose. Let's take the nuts off. Drop them on the floor. Okay, so I'm gonna take our puller so it'll get you a percentage of the way there, and then you just have to pull the rest of it off like that. Sometimes without this sucker, you'll be hating life. Okay, let's set that down. And we'll yank it off. Oh, forgot the other one on the back, dummy. Should have taken this one off first. Got a whole lot of years. Skunk too, not bad. Looks pretty clean, huh? So we'll pull these off and put it on the new exhaust and put that back in, but let's take our mid pipe off first. Hopefully a little bit more efficiently than that one. My righty-tighty, lefty-loosey skills are not so great. Facing the wrong way. Yeah, I mean, these bolts look so clean, but man, they're surprisingly tight. There's that. Little connector pipe. Gasket. These are the easiest ones to get off, and they're the ones that looks like they're all rusted out. All right, so there's a mid pipe. So let's pull all these grommets off. I'm going to transplant them onto new sections. It says up. So that's how you know which way to put it. So there's a new gasket for that. No new bolts. Two, four, yeah. New bolts and washers. Okay, cool. Let's put our gasket on. Get that to stay. So, as with any exhaust, don't tighten everything up until you're done. So we don't need an exhaust grommet puller to put it back on. Just push it back in place. Have it go over top of the little ball there. That should hold it. There's piece number one. Gosh, this is amazing. Assuming all this works out and lines up like I'm planning, this is a good day. So there's a washer on each side. I also need a gasket. Be a little trickier to get in there with one set of hands. What we'll do, they had the bolts in the other way. I think I like the bolts facing back. So the bolts would face the back side and the nuts will face the back of the car. That way I can assemble this that way. Just that. You're gonna get all bent out of shape on me here. I don't have the car insured yet. Oh shoot. Why didn't you tell me what I was doing there? Yeah. Just freaking right out here. I gotta get the insurance, email the lady, but everybody's on the pandemic. Apparently I'm the only person that's working for a living. Everybody else is on frickin' vacation. So they'll get back to me. They're very stressed in these times of vacation. So someday they'll get back to me, get the insurance. I'm not so worried about this car. I'm worried about the liability of somebody else. You know, I'm worried if it was in a crash, but having coverage. Let's put our grommets in place. These should slide right off. Don't speak too soon. So the puppy has to come up here. Sucker's pretty heavy. I need some titanium, bro. I need some Honda lightweightness. I need to fart can it out here. Just keep the engine the same. What are you ruining it? I'm in the business of ruining stuff. It's what I do. I kind of like these two little guys. Tightening it up. Yeah. Alignment looks pretty good. That looks good. Looks like my style. Good to go. I think that's it. No shakiness. All right, so now what I always do is take something like alcohol and some IPA, wipe all my fingerprints off, because otherwise you'll burn in your fingerprints into the exhaust. This is when I usually get yelled at in the comments on YouTube. I don't care. I want my exhaust to look good. You can have yours look janky, but I ain't interested in that. Ask me how I know it'll leave fingerprints. Might have been on this car. Actually, I think it might have been on my original Comtech exhaust. It took me probably 4 hours to install in the driveway. I ended up with my fingerprints all over it. Alright, I'll have exhaust number 2 ordered tonight. It's like we just cut the nuts off the car. Just neutered it. It's like total grandpa mode. I'm not a grandpa yet, Bryce.
You're fast, Dad.
Look at that though, look at that horsepower.
You can see where
what happened there?
The second one's, that's the brakes you hitting, right?
No, the brakes don't lock. I couldn't lock up the brakes if I tried. That's the scary part, is I can't. You know, at GT3, I freaking launch control out of here and just hit the brakes. This thing, forget it. I'm like, is it gonna stop? Back to the drawing board, fellas. All right, little Honda bros. Why is it that I assume every Honda guy is a little guy? I'm not a little guy, so anyway, little Honda bros. That's exhaust, and pretty simple to do. Anyway, I'll give you more impressions. Don't get too excited on me. I know we only did a couple little pulls out here, a couple little revs, but I'll have a full suite of exhaust sound videos like I normally do on this car. So that'll be available to you soon. Give me a few weeks to get that done. I need to get the car registered and insured before I drive down through town here to get that done. So thanks for watching. Next modification, I think I'll probably mess with the short shifter. I have 3 different short shifters. You're going to see a lot of that on this car, where I buy multiples to figure out which one is the one I want. So I'm going to be doing, anyway, I forget which ones, K-tuned and another one. So I'll be talking about that here soon. So thanks for watching. More Civic content as we pursue what I call OG spec, pursue my childhood dream of what I'm going to make this car. So thanks for watching. As always, stay tuned for more crazy.